And thanks again for coming in and watching my channel. Today we're taking the RuF. We're taking the RuF around Spa. Beautiful car, crazy machine. And I was on a Facebook group today. A friend of mine tagged me in, and of course the infamous debates and chat with regards to wheel versus controller. So I'm here to speak to you today a little bit about that, and somebody that has had significant time on both, and now has been forced back to the controller because my wheel is pooched. Uh, I got to tell you guys, it's not easy on controller, and a prop should be out to anyone who is attempting to run these cars, especially the RuF. I think the GT40, which I'll throw up here as well. Um, they're very difficult cars with the controller. Thankfully, I'm still moving from buttons to triggers, and but I'm glad I made that move. And anybody who still uses the buttons are probably very frustrated, especially with Assetto Corsa versus project cars. Project cars using the buttons for refuel and brake are pretty easy in comparison to Assetto Corsa. Assetto Corsa doesn't have that finite tuning for your for your brake and your percentages and fuel delivery. So anyway, let's take you around a lap around Spa with this beautiful car. And like I said, this is on controller. I'm running 100% boost on the turbo and no traction control. Little disclaimer, I am using ABS. Wait, guys, give me a break here. So, for those purists, right? I'm doing the best I can, but I just want to explain to you guys that it is very difficult um, to run these cars without a wheel. And they're like I said, they're difficult with a wheel. So let's give this a rock and roll here. There we go, right on the power. You gotta be really careful of your, how you use your power, and especially running at 100% boost. If you're in a race or anything like that, if you're in any type of a competition, 100% boost you shouldn't be using. I would knock it down to about 80%. You could probably run better times. You hear the purists out there, especially with wheels and stuff, and some of them I call them wheel snubs. Me running both, I have a strong appreciation for anybody who can run decent times with the controller and run them consistently and run them smoothly so you're not burning out the tires. It's one thing to run a fast lap, but it's another thing to run a fast lap and something that's smooth. See a lot of guys ripping the car around, but I mean, they're going to burn the tires off and they wouldn't last 5 minutes in a race. So I just wanted to put this one out here to show you that you can be smooth, but it takes a lot of work. And I believe that Assetto Corsa is, very punitive on controller users, and that's not very inviting to those that can't afford wheels. If they want to be inclusive, then they should make it representational or proportional to those controller users, and so that they can be somewhat competitive. It's just not fair for somebody to get to this kind of level. You have to put hundreds of hours in on the controller as opposed to 20 hours in the wheel and get to the same level, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm getting the asset note here quite a bit on this thing, trying to keep her steady, but You know, it's just not that easy. Here we go. She's drifting the ass end a little bit. I made some camber adjustments and played around with the diff setting, but other than that, not really much you can do. A little bit with the toe. They don't give you a lot of control over this. So here we are. We're crossing the line. We're running around the 249 mark with this lap. Anyway, I just want to thank you guys for coming out and watching my channel, and I'll have another one coming up with the GT40, so definitely have a look at that, and you can compare the two cars. These are probably one of the more difficult cars to run on Assetto Corsa with a controller, without traction control, with full boost. You know, well, full boost on this one. The GT40 you can only really run. You can only really run. I guess the engine limiter. So anyway, you guys have a great Sunday, and we'll talk to you soon.